we can change in the positive way. We can be completely different person in the greatest way. My subconscious mind will believe that shit. And my body, all the cells that exist in my body will act according to that belief. Whole purpose of conversation is to be able to communicate most efficiently, so that actually being able to communicate fully no soy perfecto, no hablo español perfectamente como sea natar, pero no es importante para comunicarse o hablar perfectamente. El mandatorio aceptó la invitación de la presidenta de la Cámara Baja, Nancy Pelosi, para ir al Congreso a dar. Then I have to believe that I'm a great dancer. I'm a great artist that express my feeling through the dancing, right? All the cells, by the way, all the human cells will be replaced completely. Every single cells will be replaced completely every 9 years. Every 9 years, you are a completely new person. So we can change. That's what I want to say. We can change in the positive way. We can be completely different person in the greatest way, and that start from our thoughts, mindset, because that will dictate our actions every single microsecond. Hablo español también, aprendí por mi cuenta cuando tenía 36 o 37 años. And if we do all the good practices every single day for 9 years, by the time we replenish all the cells within our body, have a different memories. Do you understand? 9 years. We are a completely different person physically. Of course, each cell carry DNAs that has a memory from our past, but that's a good thing too. So I always start with so, because I feel great now. I'm out in the nature like this, place like this. It's not gonna be coming through our mind for whatever reason when we are out in nature. I think it's something that different, that if you start being on the road, you start seeing the difference, the pattern of thoughts that flows into your mind. Whether you are out of town or you in town or you are in daily routine, you wanna have great thoughts, because the great thoughts brings us the great feeling. That's it. That's the direct connection, and nothing else will change our feeling. The power and ability to control our thoughts. But unfortunately, the thoughts comes out automatically, popped in our mind automatically, almost automatically, without control. So what do? Better mindset. Then the natural thoughts that occurs in our mind will change. So we're not gonna, suffer as much before or at all. The mindset is important because that dictates our feeling, and our feeling dictates our actions. Because if we feel great, we do great things, right? Helps other people on the street, even though they are strangers, or we go to work out and gym more often without effort. Something bothers your heart or interior, and you don't have calm state of your interior, right? Then no matter what kind of thoughts you have, your action will be affected, I think. Because if you have a calm state of your interior, right? Your interior, then your mind can be as clear as possible, like you could ever imagine, right? Be able to imagine. And also your prime nature of you as a human being, your instinct from your experience, and maybe from other things like if you believe probably your priority life or something like that, instincts coming from maybe universe or the, I don't know, galaxy, but your instinct will be as sharp as possible so you can make the right decision. That's what I think. That's what I feel. So anything could be viewed as negative and positive at the same time. So nothing can be really truly evaluated as a negative or positive. There might be an argument with that, but I'm not going to that loud, okay? And if we have the right glasses on and see things, what happens around you, and then you can choose the actions, the best action possible at the moment. And do you know what? The life we live is a parallel world. Let me check the time. Okay. The parallel worlds, bunch of parallel worlds, right? Parallel worlds means every single word is the exact same copy, right? And you are same copy. But each one is different because your actions are different, or how you think are different. So each second, each minute it passes, you are going through the different directions. Can you imagine at the end of that, each life of yourself in different parallel world will end up completely different. So you have a lot of choices for a lot of things that happen to you based on your mindset and your actions. And you have millions of choices, but you can choose only one. You cannot choose anything else. You have to select one. And then you can make yourself shift through those parallel worlds one by one, but you cannot jump a lot. If you have the right mindset, every single second or microsecond, you can start shifting the world to the next one, which is obviously better. You don't want to go to the worst. Sobre is a preposition meaning about. Próximo is an adjective meaning next. When I used to do marathon, right? And then when I was training or when I was racing, I always picture myself with a competition, which is myself in the parallel world. So I envisioned almost like a horoscope, in the Star Wars, in the Master Yoda. On the planet, when he saw this green little creature, he said, "I'm looking for someone." Then Yoda said, "Looking? Find someone, you hope." I would say, old movie, or I don't watch the newer sci-fi movie, so I don't have an example, but there's a hologram in myself exactly at the same overlapped with my body. But then I imagine when I get weak, my mind was weakened, I want to slow down, then I imagine that hologram of myself who didn't slow down. Gradually we are in the same, here, right, in the body, overlap, but the overlap shifted. I'm moving to that person, right? Myself, who never give up. With yourself, with thyself. If you have ever run, you know what I'm talking about. We can do a lot of things. Like, everything is abundant. But if we have a wrong mindset, we feel like everything is in shortage. We don't have much time. We don't have much love. We don't have much money. We don't have much health. But everything is in reality are abundant. And that's something that we want to really tweak our mindset so that we start living and acting things based on those abundance mindset, which will actually affect the results or consequences that we receive. And it's hard to explain, but that is so true. If we think things are not abundant, in shortage, that we need to fight for, or we're losing, then we're gonna start losing them. And that's how strong the power of our thought. So we want to use that power positively, right? We don't want to use that amazing power negatively, because if we use that power to negative way, then negative things will for sure happen because of the power. But if we use in a different way, in positive way, the positive things will 101% for sure will happen. The way to change our mindset is to surround yourself with the people who you want to be, like them, right? Who has already great mindset that you think, right? So where that mindset that you have come from, right? That is, people you were people surround yourself when you are growing up. That was grandparents, parents, maybe your friends, your brothers and sisters. I'm not saying they're good or bad. It's just that's where that your mindset pattern is coming from, because we are, as human beings, absorb what surrounds us, right? To adapt ourselves to the living conditions, society, right? But the thing is, your grandparents and parents never had, they lived in a different era. So their mindset, best appropriate mindset, cannot be the best for ourselves. The same thing goes to our grandchildren or children. They cannot adapt our best mindset for themselves, because they are living in the next generation, the next era. So basically, each of us, although we were kind of set from the example, at one point we need to change. We need to adapt our mindset. We need to update our mindset. Things mostly by seeing somebody else is doing, right? That's the way we can believe. We start believing because that was possible for somebody else. Then we start believing. So we need example. And of course, that is something that we absorb as well. Subconscious mind absorb everything that comes into our mind. Okay? Subconscious mind cannot select what to absorb and not. So it absorbs everything that comes in. So if we understand that fact, then we want to use that fact or the truth in a positive way, right? Do whatever it takes to have 30 seconds or 10 seconds more with those people who you look up, right? Who you look up. And that will start changing your thinking pattern gradually by example. We as a human being need examples. I think about our heart and our brain. Like the brain is, what we think, how we think, and what makes in reality, because the actions are the only thing that bring us some results or consequences, and the action needs to be taken by your thoughts and decision-making process. Well, let me put it this way. If you're feeling bad, your thinking process, decision-making process is going to be affected. But at the same time, what you think affects how you feel as well. So they are closely related. We never want to let our thoughts drive or control, let it control our lives, where we are going or where we are heading, just because you learned something or you got input from other entity to your thought process. I think what's really important is what you feel from your bottom heart, and your brain with the amazing power of thinking has to help you what you feel from your heart. And lately I've been thinking and really feeling about how I wanted to make sure. I'm just putting my pants up because it's kind of loose. I don't know why. I got thinner or the pants get bigger, stretched, I don't know. But my heart or inside here, or however you describe, need to be in the calmest state. It cannot be like agitated, whatever it is. And you have to have confidence. You are the confidence. I am the confidence, right? It's just this entity, my existence is the confidence, so that I can act on anything that brings me to where I want to go, or how I want to contribute to the world, or something like that. But just the confidence wouldn't make me achieve something that I want to achieve, or get me where I really want to be. That you have to have really calm state of, I don't know how to describe, but it has to be calm. And that's something that you can evaluate whether you are in that state or not by feeling. And as long as those two, if we're in a really good place, where you can really move yourself forward, drive you to something good to yourself and then people around you. And eventually, or it's because of the confidence that you have, and the state of, it's not the state of mind I'm talking about, state of heart. Your heart has to be in the calm, relaxed mode, but you have to have a solid confidence. So you are the confidence, and based in your calmness, your state of your heart, your interior, so to speak. Whatever you might call heart, your interior, your soul, whatever. But you have to have that. It has to be relaxed, so to speak. When your heart is in a calm state, then your mind is clear as possible that you could ever imagine. And also you have this instinct from something that logic cannot explain. You can feel it, right? And you can act on those, your great instinct too. So that is something important. It looks like the park was closed at 5 p.m. which is not 5 p.m. yet, but it seems like the place is closed completely. I used to come here often. This is the road actually I was able to drive through to get to the further point, which is like in the middle of Everglades National Park, which is great. But it seems like for some reasons they closed this area. anyone, as a human being, we can learn any language at any time of our life. Now, children and adults learn a language different way, somewhat, because for children, it's their first language. It's very first language they're gonna learn. So the way they learn is they don't have any idea or concept or nothing before, so they learn it as very first one. But as an adult, we have already first language, which has rules and concept and idea for specific certain culture. So we need to learn differently because we don't have a fresh brain. But that doesn't mean that we cannot learn any other language. If we continue, no matter what, we're gonna get it. But we can make it faster as well. People don't want to practice because you don't want to be wrong. Those are the things that actually stop us. And then the belief is another thing, the biggest thing, that learning a foreign language as a second language, third language is difficult. They put that idea in us already, so it's hard for us to believe that we can do, although we can do it for 100% for sure. So if we don't believe, we cannot spend our energy, precious energy. It's our built in our psychology for survival purpose. We cannot put any our energy if we don't believe it. The language is actually like mathematics. Like, you remember when you are learning mathematics, it takes time to process the information, right? And first you don't understand any, like, what? But if you continue tackling it, eventually you get it. Light bulbs light, and language like that. And children are no different too. They take couple years to learn the first language, right? It's not like they can instantly get it. The strength of the children is that they don't have any idea or shame or perfectionism or nothing. So they just go for it 400%. That's why they're the fastest to learn a new language. We're gonna make that happen because our brain will try to prove that belief that we cannot learn, right? But if we believe in 400%, then our brain will find a way. If you desire so much, if you believe in it so much, anything could be possible. As we grow up in this society, we are actually already programmed, unfortunately, and also with the psychology that evolved over 10,000 years ago, right? Over time, we are programmed to believe that we cannot. It's the good news. We can reprogram because our brain can reprogram all over and over and over again. Belief is something that is super important, and it's not surprising that all the religion that exists in this world is promoting beliefs and faith, because that's how our brain or human beings work to achieve anything in life. Belief will create the full throttle of energy use. If we don't believe in something, we are designed and evolved not to waste our energy, so naturally we act in the way that we try to preserve, right? That's not what we want to do. If we want to get something achieved, right? If we need to accomplish something, we need to be in full energy, right? But if you don't have a strong belief, it's not gonna happen, because our body and mind just doesn't work that way. More importantly, you want to avoid negative voice, whether it's your own or others. Because, for example, if you are in the environment, the people around you are speaking negatively all the time, you might think you can block it, like conscious part of brain could do. But actually there is a big part of subconscious mind that cannot distinguish what is true or what is not even. So basically, subconscious mind is absorbing all the information. It's coming through the ear, and that will diminish the belief that you might have had or that you might be able to create. It's just that simple, and you should really try to create environment, good environment, because we have a choice, right? We don't have certain things for choices, but most of the things we have a choice. So we can create a great environment, better environment ourselves, where we hang out. We can decide where all the things we can do, a little thing to create a better environment, so that we can create strong belief that we can act on it. In order to create a strong belief, we have to see it. We have to see the possibility. So basically, looking for somebody who achieved, and then actually best thing is to meet that person, whatever it costs. Just meet that person, experience, and talking to the person, and so that your mind can believe that something that you might not have thought able to do, make it possible. The way I accomplished Spanish was from my experience. I struggled to learn English as a second language for a long time, but eventually I made it. So I could believe myself attaining another language when the moment of this strong desire came.